You had mentioned it earlier, just briefly, but you did attempt to take your life. And how old were you, and what sort of led to that? And did you ever think when that happened that you would get out?
Well, first of all, I never thought that I'd be married, and I feel like the fear of being alone is one of the greatest fears I've ever experienced. So when I was a kid, I thought I'm not going to get a job, and it's when your fears go from rational fears to irrational fears.
Yeah.
Meaning, will I get a job, to concluding fearfully, I'm never going to get a job.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be happy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always going to be alone. And so those are the...
No one will ever marry me, and I won't have children, I won't have a family,
and I won't
I'll
ever
die
be
alone.
happy, right?
I mean, sure, yeah.
And so for me, I never thought I'd be independent and just a burden to my family. And so I think really the bullying and the fear of being alone brought me to that attempted suicide. When you don't know the truth of your value, you'll then believe the lies of your value that the world say about you. You need to look a certain way, be a certain way. Some guys, they start saying the F word to be cool, thinking I need big biceps. I went through a depression for around 4 or 5 years, between ages 8 and 12. And I never thought that God would really do something beautiful with the broken pieces that I could see. And I think the 4 things that I've done to get out of depression is, number 1, really be thankful for what I had. I'm thankful for my little foot, thankful for my parents, thankful that I could go to school, thankful that I could know about God.
Yeah.
The second thing is taking one day at a time. I mean, it's so easy to get so overwhelmed and even exaggerate your fear because of the unknowns.
Yeah.
And to balance that out, you have to sort of just take a step back. And I can't think about 6 months from now, 6 years from now, and 10 years from now. I'm just going to take one day at a time. God gives us strength for the next day. There's so many scriptures about that. And that's the wisdom of God, and that's the wisdom of my parents. When I asked them the bigger questions of my future, they're like, well, look, just take one day at a time. God's with you, and you're like, yeah, okay, but how's that going to work out, right? That's what we want. We're stressed. I want to know the plan. What's the plan?
Yeah.
And God's like, well, if I give you a plan, then what's the point of having faith?
Yeah.
So He keeps us there where I say, okay, God, I'm going to trust you with all my heart. So that's the second thing.
That's great, Nick.
The third thing is to talk to somebody. If Nick Vujicic never told somebody what was really going on, never counseled with anybody, never asked for help, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
And I give all the glory to God for everything, and that He's my greatest counselor. But sometimes He gives you His children just to say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right. No, really. How can I pray for you?
Yes.
And that really starts helping us refocus and be reminded of God's promises that then instill more faith in us. The last thing to do is actually go try and ask God today, if you're depressed, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you something that will sound stupid, but to actually say, God, even though I haven't got what I feel like I need today or want today, help me to be used, that I can give somebody else what they need, what they want, or even just help them. Like whether we go to a cancer ward in a hospital to make those kids smile, or go to an orphanage, or just go feed the homeless, go try be a miracle for someone else. That is a great medicine of the heart that my parents taught me as well. It instills purpose. In fact, having the reconfirmation that you are not only a child of God in your value, but you have a purpose. That no matter what the lies of the enemy are telling you, you know that God did use you to help that person. And that's not arguable.
Yeah.
And so when you come back, no, I am a child of God. I am wonderfully and fearfully made. And it's not to say that we need necessarily a mission or a ministry or a title to have the purpose of God. The greatest purpose of God that we have is to know Him, love Him, walk with Him, be with Him, talk to Him, and live as eternal beings with our eternal Father while we are still yet here. Our value is not determined on what we do. Our value is knowing who we are in Him and trusting in Him one day at a time.